Hello, welcome to our channel. In this video, you are going to learn how to develop custom Kendo UI grid with subgrid in MVC. So, don't miss any step and watch till the end of the video. Let's start with introduction. Here, I am sharing this technical video to explain how to use the Kendo grid with a subgrid using the Kendo UI framework in the MVC-based application. Kendo UI is the latest jQuery-based platform that helps in designing modern web apps and data binding. This is a step-by-step guide that will make you familiar with the framework so that you can use it during ASP.NET development without making any errors. Here, I explain how to use the Kendo grid with subgrid using the Kendo UI framework in an MVC-based application. Kendo UI is an HTML5 jQuery-based framework for building modern web applications. Kendo UI grid is used for binding data. Below are the steps for how to use Kendo UI in MVC. Now let's start to understand steps for how to use Kendo UI in MVC in detail. Here, the first step is to download the Kendo UI JavaScript. Second is add Kendo UI JavaScript and CSS references. Means to give the Kendo UI reference of JavaScript and CSS we need to write the below code as per mentioned in the image in the MVC view. Set reference of Kendo UI JavaScript in MVC view and then call the HTML Kendo grid function where we need it. So, the JavaScript code is as per the below image. Third step is Kendo UI grid binding code in the view. After completing the process of adding Kendo UI reference, we use that for data binding. So for that, we have to use the HTML Kendo grid function of Kendo UI JavaScript in our view and pass the model data in the grid function. Also give the required value parameter like name, columns that we have to bind in a grid with a specific title, or a client template with a particular URL and parameter. And set the configuration for grid like we have to display or enable disable paging, sorting, scrolling, and filtering in the grid. For that set pageable, sortable, scrollable, and filterable property of grid. If we also want to show a subgrid, then set the client detail templates in the Kendo UI grid. For data operations and manipulation, the data source is used in the Kendo grid. If we want to perform the operation on the server side, then we have to give server operation true for the Kendo UI grid. In the Kendo UI grid, we set the custom format for a date or set the custom size for columns or give the link to other pages using the client template. Here implement the Kendo UI grid as per the given image below code. In the code, load data action is called in the search controller and in which parameter is passed by the data property of the grid using JavaScript function. As per the code you see in the image, here we define the additional data function for passing the data for parameters to load the grid. Next, fourth step is script code for client detail temple means subgrid. To display the subgrid, client detail temple, based on the above data of grid we have to write the below script and call for Kendo.grid function and pass the model to fetch the data. Also give the name, columns, and data source with page size properties and read the action as per the above grid to the client template as per the image code. Here, in the subgrid, we fill the data from the contract SAP model with reference to the above grid data. For that, we need the bind brands action method in the search controller with parameters as per the scene in code. Fifth step is controller action method for fill data in grid and subgrid. Means client detail template. In the image code have mentioned the controller action methods for filling the data in a grid. For filling the main grid load data action method is called and for fill, the subgrid bind brands method is called in the search controller as shown in the code. Here in the code, we have seen the action method. We got the list of contract SAP data in list that convert into a JSON format that passes in view, resulting in a display as per the below image code. As per the controller action call method, we got the subgrid result from contract POSAP data based on num and order parameters in the main grid. Here we create a custom subgrid using the client detail template in the Kendo UI grid. Sixth step is result of the Kendo grid. Below in this image you can see result of Kendo UI grid data load. Second is subgrid means client detail template results, as you can see in the below image. Next is advantages of Kendo grid. First is ultimate performance gives to UI with minimum resources and is easy to use in MVC-based applications. Second is in Kendo UI we use the data source component is an abstraction for using local arrays of JavaScript objects or remote XML, JSON data. It fully supports CRUD, create, read, update, delete, data operations and provides both local and server-side support for sorting, paging, filtering, grouping, and aggregates. At the end of the video, I want to say our expert.NET developers team has designed this technical video after deep research and practical work experience. We are 100% sure it will help global .NET users and .NET communities who are seeking valuable information on the .NET platform. In case you still face any issues, then you can freely contact our aspdotnet development team for further assistance. At Aegis, we are putting maximum effort into designing any technical video so that it can help .NET users prominently. If have any query regarding this topic, feels free to contact us on our email address is info@aegissoftech.com. Our contact number is +919 8241722020. Our address is Royal Square, first floor, office number 110, Nera Shilp Tower, Tagore Road, Rajkot 360001, Gujarat, India. Thanks for watching this video. To get more new video, please do like, share and subscribe our channel.